Greetings, unsettled souls. A sin I do begins. You're doing political commentary for the Media Speaks. I didn't really plan it this way today, but it looks like it's not going to be as political as some shows have been. I have a lot of articles today that don't necessarily fit into the left and right paradigm, which I think is great. I mean, it does sort of do us justice to get away from that to some degree once in a while, or we'll lose our minds. I do want to let you know what's going on with the Dunce Cap of the Month award. I'm probably doing a double dunce next month because I'm backed up on getting these sent out still. And I'm reminding everyone, of course, if you'd like to donate to the show, that you can do so at the correct views at hotmail.com. You can do so through PayPal, and I don't mind showing receipts. I always use all the money that I get towards a better show, and as you can see by how horrible this camera is, and kind. So I would appreciate it if you, yes, you're listening, for check this out, friends. I talk about this all the time, and I worry that people don't completely understand it. The Daily Mail. Stop sleeping with your cell phone. Anything closer than an arm's length could cause cancer and infertility, health officials warn. Now, I have a bad habit of typing with my cell phone close to me, which I probably should not do. Although I will say this, and I'll pass it on to you. I don't sleep that way. As a matter of fact, I have a water bed, and I put it on the floor far away. And I'm up, of course, raised from it. I don't keep it on the bedstand beside me. I don't make a habit of falling asleep with it in the bed with me. I don't carry it in the front pocket of my pants to try to give myself ball sack cancer. And I got news for you, ladies. You'd like to carry it in your bra, your cell phone in your bra, as if it was an extra pocket. You might as well just sign yourself up for cancer treatments if you're going to do that. It has been directly tied to breast cancer, and I don't mean in a few rare instances. I mean quite frequently. Maybe this will wake some people up here. The California Department of Health warned that people need to keep their cell phones several feet away from them to reduce radiation exposure and health risks. California released guidance for reducing exposure to cell phone radiation on Thursday, amid mounting evidence that cell phone use may be linked to cancer, attention, mental health, and reproductive health issues. Cell phones transmit information using low-frequency radio signals, which may expose us to unhealthy radiation, especially when streaming or downloading large files. Researchers have not been able to prove definitively that cell phone radiation is dangerous, but there have been enough studies linking the two to warrant caution, especially in children. Well, see, that's where you tune into the correct views, you hit subscribe, and you hit share for a reason, because they just gave you a load of crap there. There's actually ample proof in many, many studies that have linked cell phones to cancer. So don't let that be said to you. And it's also very easy to look these studies up online. Anybody smart enough to have found this show, I guarantee, can find it with 2 seconds of work. The statewide notice comes after several cities, including Berkeley and San Francisco, to quote Michael Savage, issued local warnings that their citizens should make some distance between their phones and their bodies. The RF energies cell phones use to transmit information are at the bottom of the radiation totem pole, but research suggests that our frequent close-range exposures to cell phones may be enough to endanger us. Keeping a phone directly on the body has never been a good idea, said Dr. Deborah Davis of the Environmental Health Trust. In fact, cell phone makers, including Apple, have long talked about this problem and put warnings in cell phones when you buy them. Said many people are not aware that it's a clear warning to keep the phone off of a person's body. The French have tested the phones and the way they are used, touching the body, and RFC exposures exceeds the French standards by 4 more times and apply to the US standards. And it's even much more than that, about 7 times, according to standards in other countries, of course. Other research has shown strong links between RF and male sperm counts and male sperm quality. Many people keep their phones in their pockets for hours a day, especially in the summer, with thinner exposures will be far greater. The advice is welcome to those who will listen to it. Now, I don't know if you know anyone. I know that my wife and many other people are never with the people that they're actually with. They're not. They're on their cell phone nonstop, and they're not actually with the people that they are physically located. And that has become repeatedly a very big problem here, because as we know, that is a moment fixed. All right. Don't go to the next site I'm going to give you. You'll get that horrible sound if you do. It matters, people, because this is leading to a lot of cancers, a lot of mastectomies, a lot of very dangerous, unwanted developments in people's life that does not need to be there if just a few simple precautions are taken. Moving on, friends. Don't go to this site. You'll get that awful noise, but the story is certainly worth it. You guys know about me and my flying car, right? My obsession with a flying car. Dailymail.co.uk. World's first 200-mile flying sports car will be ready next year. Samsung Motors has announced the Switchblade is ready for launch in spring of 2018. I'm so excited. It's like right around the corner. More than 240 people have already reserved a model from the Oregon-based company. The two-seater vehicle has extendable wings and a retractable tail that fold out. It will have a cruising altitude of 13,000 feet and will reach speeds of 200 miles an hour in the air and 100 miles an hour on the ground. The mind-boggling creation is 5.1 meters in ground mode, the same length as a standard Mercedes-Benz S-Class, and would expand to 6.2 meters in the air when the tail is extended. Describing the innovative concept, Samsung CEO Sam Bullfighter, look at all the Sams in that. It's meant to come to me, isn't it? He told Rob Rupert, in my mind, it needed to be something more useful, something you could use every day, not just something you do on weekends to spend money. And I realized the future of transportation is in the air. You have the Jetsons, The Fifth Element, Star Wars, Star Trek, almost every TV show or movie that deals with the future sees all of us up in the air. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I was thinking that that's where we're headed, but how do we get there? What's an in-between step that we could do now? Then I came up with the Switchblade. The three-wheel motor, which comes with a parachute, will not have vertical takeoff, and the car would take off naturally if the wings were extended at around 80 miles an hour, Samsung said. The full device license would be needed. A full driving license would be needed to operate the car on the roads, and a private pilot's license is required to fly it. Other flying efforts include Uber's flying car and PAL v Liberty and Airbus's flying car. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but there are much cooler flying cars than it. There are some that are coming out that you will not need a pilot's license to have. It flies itself, it's got its parachute, it handles landing, and it handles takeoff. A lot of people have asked how that is going to work with gas stations. Well, we already have a lot of really small airports peppered all over the place. For instance, in Cleveland, everybody knows about Hopkins, but nobody knows about Sandusky Airport. There are a myriad of these. And I imagine they would be cropping up much more once the flying car phenomenon has taken off. So if anybody wants to know a great birthday gift, my birthday is the 25th. If anybody wants to know a remarkable birthday gift for Sam, the flying car. And if I have to get my pilot's license, then I will do that too. I'd rather have the other one, but I'm not picky. All right, guys, got two left. This is the dumbdee of the day. We have two of them, and quite dumbdees indeed. It's from the Sun. Gore blimey, Mexican bullfighter is gored in his balls and has to stem gushing blood with his hands. Now, I'm not against bullfighting. I'm not against, PETA. It's a tradition. I don't really get the point myself. I personally ain't going to kill something just to watch it fall over, but I do get the sport of it. And I do understand that sometimes the bull wins. And I don't think they should be put to death when that happens. I think they should be retired and allowed to live out their life, particularly when you score what this bull did. It's a horrific moment. The bullfighter was gored in the cojones during a fiesta tournament in Mexico. Louis David Adam is seen writhing in pain after the bull's horn scored a direct hit and left him with blood pouring out of the wound. He can be seen attempting to stem the flow of blood from his wound with his own hand after shocked colleagues carrying him off to the bull ring's infirmary. He was then rushed to the hospital, and the excruciating attack is the Plaza Santa Maria da Quintaro in Quintaro took place during the first bout of the festival. The very first guy that steps out got his kahunas ripped. Go figure. The bullfighter had just started to taunt the bull with his traditional red cape when the animal ducked and quickly turned direction, piercing Luis David's groin area before tossing him into the air. So it lifted him by the, He fell to the ground. Other tournament competitors ran to his aid and carried him to the side of the bull ring. Well, there you go. I see the blood there. This morning, he was well enough to tweet a message from his hospital bed thanking fans for messages of support. He is recovering and is in stable condition. Now, I imagine if he is married, his wife is probably recovering, and her mental state is probably not in very stable condition as of this time. And friends, that brings us to the dumbdee, the main dumbdee, the big dumbdee of the day, which I'm sure you've been waiting for. There's your dumbdee music. There we go. All right. Who's this? What? Hold on 1 second. Don't go anywhere. And that, friends, brings us to the dumbdee of the day. Police search for wedding ring and lost Halloween candy. I wasn't going to go ahead and get to this, but I am. A Vermont trick-or-treater may have picked up more candy on Halloween this year, but police have said that he who lives in South Burlington called them after he says he accidentally dropped his yellow, gold, and diamond eternity wedding ring into a trick-or-treat bag. She said others have been reported that someone posted on social media about having found it. She lives in the Butler Farm neighborhood. I was told that I did not get to that, so I wanted to make sure that I did. Friends, thank you for listening to The Correct Views, and please donate to the show if you can. Thank you very much.